What's up, family? Give this video a big thumbs up. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new, come and join the family. However, family, let's get started with the video.
Today, I'm also announcing that as part of our additional tax cuts, we will end all taxes on overtime. You know what that means? Think of that. Think of that. Think of that. That gives people more of an incentive to work. It gives the companies it's a lot easier to get the people. And, you know, I went to some economists, great ones, and I said, what do you think? They said, it would be unbelievable. You'll get a whole new workforce by doing that. No taxes on overtime. The people who work overtime are among the hardest working citizens in our country. And for too long, no one in Washington has been looking out for them. Those are the people. They really work. They're police officers, nurses, factory workers, construction workers, truck drivers, and machine operators. It's time for the working man and woman to finally catch a break, and that's what we're doing because this is a good one. And I think it's going to be great for the country. So that's why we will be saying that if you're an overtime worker, when you're past 40 hours a week, think of that. Your overtime hours will be tax-free. Okay? Good? You're going to have it, too. And unlike Biden, where he tells you that you don't have to pay your school tuition and he gets rejected, then he goes again and again. Now it's totally gone. Or as they say in politics, it's debunked. It's gone. That was terrible. You know, he kept saying to these students, no more loans, no more loans, which was very unfair to the millions of people that actually paid off their loans over the years. Some of them took 20 years to pay them off. But that's a dead deal. That's totally dead. You know, they tried to revive it 2 weeks ago. That didn't work out too well. That's a totally dead deal. But these will be three things that will get done. So if you think about no tax on tips, think of that. Think about this. And the Social Security for our seniors, because the seniors have been destroyed by inflation. It's unfair. And this is like a whole new life for them, because you're talking about a lot of money. So no tax on Social Securities for our great seniors. And this last one is no tax. You work your ass off, no tax on overtime. And that's so good for the employers. One of our economists said, I think that's actually going to bring money into our economy. You know, when I cut taxes, we had the largest tax cut in history. And when I cut taxes with a much lower rate the following year, we took in more money than we ever took in with a much higher rate.
So this is one of the things that benefits everybody, right? And I have to break this down to you. So let's go back to his previous economic policy announcement where he said that the first thing that we need to do, when he said that Elon Musk would be the head, or be the one that heads it, or be the head of the task force, was that we need to audit the federal government. Now, I don't know anybody, whether you on the left or on the right, I don't know anybody that would be totally against auditing the federal government, because we all can agree that we all pay too much in taxes, right? We all pay way too much in taxes. And one of the reasons that we pay too much in taxes is because we're going to support a bunch of causes that we didn't vote for. Nobody wants to continue to be in war in Ukraine. Nobody wants to continue to be in this proxy war with Israel. Nobody wants to continue being in, this chip war as far as Taiwan. Nobody wants to continue to spend all of our money on illegal, not legal migration, but illegal immigrants that's coming into our country. And so one of his economic policies was we need to, from the top to bottom, go through with a fine-tooth comb the same way that they would do in our personal finances as the American citizens, and as we would do in our own personal finances individually. The same way that they do in corporate America, you go through, especially when you're bleeding money every single year, you audit the federal government. The second thing is his tax cuts ultimately benefited the middle class, not only because it saved you on average $1,000 per person that's in the middle class or in the lower end middle class, then it went up from there depending on how much money you make, because the more money you contribute in the system, the better your tax cut gets. It also incentivized companies to bring more of their monies from overseas into United States of America, which resulted in the federal government taking in more money, so less taxes meant more incentive, which also spurred economic growth. You follow me here, family? So, which was one of the reasons why we thrived in the Trump economy from 2016 through 2020 until the pandemic. We all know what that was about because I know Kamala Harris keeps saying, oh, well, we had to clean up a lot of mess because Donald Trump mismanaged COVID. Well, the Biden administration was the individuals that incorporated the 6 feet distance, individuals, shutting down businesses, individuals could no longer return to work within all that. Donald Trump didn't do that. The Biden administration actually mismanaged the pandemic. But however, not to get off topic, let's get back to it with the no overtime, no tax on overtime. But then on top of Kamala Harris stole his no tax on tips and no tax on Social Security for seniors because they on a fixed income. And then also on top of that, it also spurs economic growth. So this is a benefit for both businesses, small businesses, and for consumers and people that work. Imagine how much more you will be able to accomplish if you get past that threshold. Because most of the time, anybody that's worked over 40 hours, and I certainly have, working 2 to 3 jobs, when you have to take 10% out of taxes from the second job because you're making too much and you don't want to have to pay and owe the government because you're making so much. What this allows businesses to do is give more hours and not be saddled with the idea that you have to have people come to work because they know that once you get that double time, once you get that time, especially working in the healthcare field as I have as a tech, you love working on them holidays, boy, because you know you're gonna get that time and a half. But until we got our paycheck and we said, wait a minute, we got FICA, who is Fed, who is state? You know what I'm saying? Who are these stiller people that's taking a chunk out of my money? Am I getting garnished? No, you're not getting garnished. The government want is cut. And the more money that you work, the more the more they took, right? And imagine how much further you can get and how many homes you can buy, how many vacations you could take, man. And you can leverage the job that you work at and you won't have to get a second job because you will be incentivized to work as much overtime as possible because you make way more money once you pass that 40-hour threshold. And business benefit, we don't have to bring in a bunch of migrants in order to replace regular American citizens working at minimum wage. The American economy is continue to boom. We run up more revenue. We spend more money, which then circulate in the economy, and which then benefit the federal government because they make their money off of it. All they doing is taxing and double taxing and triple taxing our wages. And this is the real true economic policy from a person like Donald Trump that actually understands business. Not like a Tim Watts or a Kamala Harris who has never worked in a private sector in their life and their entire salary has come off the backs of taxpayer citizens. Not and in their lifetime politicians and people that persecute regular or prosecute everyday American citizens. But instead, this is coming from Donald Trump, who know business. This is not a lifetime politician. This is not a prosecutor walking around prosecuting people. He knows and understands the business. And why would you not want to go with this economic policy? And at the end of the day, not Donald Trump is not a person that's going to give you hollow promises like Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. Oh, we want to build in from the middle class. We want to build in from the middle class. What the hell does that mean? Oh, we're going to give you $6,000 for a child tax credit to have so you can have some more kids so they could be part of the slave labor movement. We need more children, and that's one of the reasons why we're bringing in a bunch of migrants. None of that foolishness. Not energies, not good vibes, not positivity people. People want real money in their pocket. They're tired of being broke. They want to be able to go to the store. They want to be able to take trips. You want to buy clothes. Your chick want to go on vacation. You want to be able to do what y'all want to do when y'all want to do it. And this is an opportunity for every individual, especially American citizen, to do so. And I can't understand for the life of me, why would you rather roll with identity politics because he's a strong black woman versus something that actually benefits everyone financially, all of us. We was booming before with Donald Trump, and we could be booming way more when it comes to the Trump economy. And I understand how y'all want a woman to lead y'all based off vibes and feelings and Philly and energy. Any woman that ever said vibes and energy to me, Kamala Harris has taught me that's a red flag in the first place. So I'm curious to what you guys think. Make sure y'all comment down below. Make sure y'all tap in with me. Hit that subscribe button. And on that note, family, peace.